getting involved in an open war in the Middle East.
Why does the West want to provoke President Putin?
Again, I would say it's a divided leadership here. There are the Victoria Nulands and the other neocons that really want to take a risk of war with Russia. They don't really understand the dimensions of what might happen, okay? And I just have to say that when you look at Mr. Putin, he was asked yesterday, what about, can you spell out how you would react if the U.S. Authorized the use of these longer range missiles? And Peskov, his spokesperson, said, look, Mr. Putin, I'm reading here from Peskov's remarks, and Mr. Putin is very, very deliberate, very, very deliberate with respect to his responses to these things. I think we're not going to go into much detail just now about the possible specifics of a response to West aggression, he says, okay? And then he says, look, Kagal, there's an intellectual leader, so to speak, Sergei Karaganov, who keeps saying we should use nukes preemptively. We should be the first. So Peskov says, what about Karaganov? Peskov says, look, we have all kinds of specialists. President Putin talks with all kinds of people, experts. They're quite competent, and we know what Karaganov has said, and we know about his line, and we take that into account. But again, I will emphasize that Mr. Putin is very, very, what's the word here, deliberate in the way he reacts to these. Well, that happens to be, at the risk of agreeing with a Russian spokesman, I say, well, all evidence suggests that he is, and the more so since he's in the catbird seat here in Ukraine. Why would he want to rise to the debate here and be provoked into something that might not end well for anyone?
Here's President Putin himself addressing these issues on September 12th. That's last Thursday. Chris, cut number 5.
It is not about allowing the Ukrainian regime to strike Russia with these weapons or not. It is about making a decision about whether NATO countries are directly involved in the military conflict or not. If the decision is made, it will mean nothing less than the direct participation of NATO countries, the United States, and European countries in the war in Ukraine. This is their direct participation, and this, of course, significantly changes the very essence, the very nature of the conflict. This will mean that NATO countries, the United States, and European countries are fighting Russia. And if this is so, bearing in mind the change in the very essence of this conflict, we will make appropriate decisions based on the threats that will be created for us.
Very, very calm, soft-spoken, mild-mannered. But does the West understand that